Boy, 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 boy. What's up, Insomniacs? Your boy Frankie D here, back with another edition of Insomnia Movie Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing the movie Trumbo. Now, I usually like to keep it lighthearted and fun on this show, but this movie just hit way too close to home with what we're going through nowadays as a country. This movie showed a time back in the late 40s after World War II where we were attacking everyone who we thought was different than us that threatened our way of life. This movie shows the life of one man that was ruined based on something he felt very strongly to believe in. And in the American way, he had every right to believe and say what he wanted to say. But we thought it was different and wrong of him to say it, so we had to suppress him in any way that we saw fit. Now, in my opinion, that's not what this country is founded on, and that's not what we should be doing as Americans. As Americans, we should be able to speak our minds freely. Now, that doesn't mean that we're free of repercussions, but if we speak our minds in such a way that is respectable and is courteous and is admirable to others, how come we have such a problem with that? This movie really makes you think, because this movie was based during around a time when we were in a Cold War with a very, very big enemy. Flash forward to present day, we're in another war with another enemy. Just replace the term communist with Muslim and you're getting the same rhetoric we had over 60 years ago. Now, I'm not trying to take any political bandstand. I like to keep it solely about the movies, but I felt this was just too important not to say anything about. This movie really showed me how far we've come as a country and how many steps back we've taken. It showed the same battles going on with, say, civil rights or the movement of black people trying to get integration into the world. While we're still fighting battles on domestic soil and we're fighting battles against enemies we don't even have a name for, it's just a giant witch hunt. We're not focusing on the real issues at hand. We're placing a placard on something that doesn't really deserve our attention right now. It's to distract us from something that's way more bigger than we could ever imagine. That's what this movie showed me. Now, I know it is a movie, and I know it's going to take certain liberties, and I know it's going to show people in certain lights that obviously weren't the real truth. But how do we know what the real truth is? We have to do research for ourselves. We have to see it, and then we have to look into it. We just can't take things at face value, and that's what we as a country have been doing. And that's what they did way back when they weren't as informed as we are today. Back in 1947, people couldn't go on Google and look up multiple sources of something. They had to trust what they listened on the radio and heard. People with that kind of influence were held to a very higher standard than what we are today. I love this country. It's where I was born and raised. I mean, what's not to love? But this country wasn't founded on suppression of idea or fear or scare tactics or labeling something as wrong. It was founded on freedom. Taking away that freedom for security is fear. If we don't learn from our mistakes, we're doomed to repeat them. We're repeating our mistakes. Whether it be gay marriage, whether it be Muslim immigrants, whether it be anything like that. Just take the term from way back in the day. Take communist, take black person, take gay person, take Muslim, put it in. It's the same rhetoric over and over and over again. That somehow these groups of people will bring down our society. Well, they make up our society. We have people from all walks of life in this country. And those people saying "Make America Great Again" don't realize that we drove out an entire population of people that were here before our ancestors even decided to come here. Not everything we do is perfect. Not everything we say is going to be perfect. This movie really showed me that. It made me put pieces together that I have been dwelling on for so very long. And again, I'm not taking it at face value. I'm taking it, interpreting it, and finding out all the facts. And the fact is, we're not learning from our mistakes as a country. We're repeating them again. The stomach magic in this film was just simply the way that it portrayed American life. How we so desperately wanted to be secure from everything that we didn't understand. You place a fancy word on it, and there's a beautiful, beautiful quote, is that there were no heroes or villains during this time, only victims. And that still reigns true to this day. There are no heroes, there are no villains, there are only victims. The same can be said for the Orlando shooter, or insert any mass shooting here. There were no heroes, there were no villains, there were only victims. We as a country feed off of this type of thing. We make these killers famous and we don't take the time to realize that humanity is sacred. 49 plus people lost their lives. Families were ruined. Relationships crushed. I'm just a man sitting behind a camera talking about movies. I had fraternity brothers that could have been in that club that night. Thank God they weren't. I can't imagine what people are going through. And people try to make money off of that. I'm not going to use their plight as some sort of gain for myself. I'm just stating an opinion I have. That's my right. But when we look at rhetoric fueled by hate, fueled by some sort of idea that we have to be better than somebody else or we have to build a wall, walls keep people out. They don't let people in. And they trap you. They trap you inside. They isolate you from the rest of the world. This was a great movie. It hit on a very, very interesting plethora of issues. Men gave their lives. And I think that's true in every movement that we've had. Some martyr had to give their life before something had to change. Who's the next one gonna be? This movie was great. Making me see something that I hadn't seen before. I know that many people are not going to enjoy what I've said here today, and that's fine. But in true Insomnia movie review fashion, I'd like to ask Mr. Frank what he'd give this film out of 5 francs.
I give this film 4 out of 5 francs.
You heard it here. 4 out of 5 francs. This dog is kosher. I'm sorry for the rant, but it's the things I felt need to be said, and this is the beauty of what movies and art can do. It can start a conversation, it can start a dialogue, but it can't be a catalyst for change without support. I support change. I support life. I don't want to hear about another mass shooting on the news. I don't want to read about people losing their lives over something so commonplace. I know it's a scary world we live in, but at the same time, what are we doing to help stop it? What are we doing to fight the good fight? Some people are out there fighting it every day. And I have to ask myself that question as well. What am I doing to fight the fight? All I have is a forum. Well, that concludes this episode of Insomnia Movie Reviews. If you liked it, please hit the like button. Please leave a comment down below about your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this particular issue. Now, I don't know about you night owls, but this insomniac's going to try to get some sleep and hope for a better world. Good night, everybody. I hope that my words start a conversation for you. And I promise this is the last heavy episode that I will do. Maybe. Have a good night.